Most personality systems tell you who you are, what personality you have. But with the gene keys, it shows you how to evolve who you are. And that changes everything, because then it becomes more of a transformation rather than a snapshot of your personality and what you can do with that. In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 ways on how your gene keys can change your life. And I will give you a few real life examples from my own personal journey as well on what this has done to me. Way number 1, it reveals your soul's purpose and clears the confusion around your direction in life. I remember that before the gene keys, life was good, but I also felt quite lost. I'm sure a few of you can relate. Life can sometimes be a bit confusing. We're looking for answers, clarity, and direction. What am I supposed to do with my life? What am I supposed to do in terms of career? How can I get a better relationship, etc., etc. The list goes on, right? I was seeking a lot of answers around my purpose. What's my life path? What am I here to do? These more existential meaning of life kind of questions. I was also struggling with achieving certain goals that I set up myself, and I wondered why I felt this tension inside of me that could come up in numerous ways. It could be I'm feeling stressed, I'm feeling unfulfilled, I'm not feeling excited about my business even though it's going well in terms of clients and money. All of these questions on why am I not feeling happier or more peaceful and more joyous about life. I'm in Bali and things are supposedly on paper looking quite great. So I just felt like something's missing, but I just don't know what. And then I came across the gene keys. Just became a really nice confirmation and maybe also reminder on who I truly am. That's the best way to put it. It's we have all of these answers inside of us. It's all there. It's just that we have forgotten. And the gene keys becomes your map. It becomes your map of not only your life, but also your soul's journey. What you're here to do on a soul level through many, many lifetimes before, and probably many, many more to come. What you're really here to do, what you're really here to learn, and how you're made up to impact the world. With the gene keys, I got all those answers to my questions solved for myself. This will be the mind-blowing thing that you will realize as well as you look into yours. Going into an example here of how this really took place, clearing up some confusion in the direction of my life. If you know my story, I had a business as a marketing agency. That was going well. I scaled it up to some high numbers and things were well. But I felt unfulfilled, right? And then I remember reading my life's work sphere in the gene keys, in the activation sequence, which I will show you here right now. Gene key 20. For the first time I felt seen. It showed me that my gift isn't in doing more, it's in the power of my presence. So it's kind of presence over performance. And I'm supposed to be a present creator, meaning shooting a content piece like this. Trust in my presence to be able to say the things that I want to say and come across as genuine and authentic and a true believer behind the message that I'm speaking. So jumping into my document here on the activation sequence and Gene Key 20. This is how it can look like. Gene Key 20, the path of the present creator. In all the Gene Keys we also have a shadow, and we have a gift, and we have a city. So the shadow is the lowest state, when you're in your shit, your emotional triggers are coming up. It's really the challenge to transcend your shadow into the gift of, in my case, self-assurance. So a high level meaning here for my life's work is to embody the power of the present moment, to show others that true impact and influence come not from endless strategizing, I've been doing that well before, but from fully showing up here and now with nothing withheld. And the Gene Keys invites me to release any tendencies to perform for approval or project an image of success, and instead trust my natural presence, unpolished, spontaneous, and fully being myself. My most magnetic quality, that is. A few practical translations: dropping the mask, drop the strategies, speaking act from the moment, being real, no agenda, not focus on performance, but focus on, once again, presence. And here going into my shadow of superficiality then, how could that show up? Well, it really pulls me into an image of success rather than embodying my truth. This can show up as trying to anticipate what others want and shape-shifting to meet those expectations. It's about surface level, trying to come across as something I'm not, right? Trying to come across as better than I am, trying to come across as knowing more than I know. While the gift of self-assurance is trusting my presence. Take bold action from the present moment. Trusting myself enough to show up as I am. And yeah, a ton of other good stuff. So that could be way one, where it really shows you your soul purpose, and it clears up confusion in the direction of your life. All in all, this really shifted how I approach business, for example. Purpose becomes a feeling, not a job title. And if you're feeling a bit confused about your career at the moment or your business path, then it might be fruitful to check out your gene key in the life's work sphere, and you might get some more clarity. Way number two, it helps you heal emotional patterns that keep sabotaging your relationships. I don't know how many times I've been looking into my shadows and as well as my partner's shadows in our gene keys, in the Venus sequence, which is about love, relationships, and emotional healing. And seeing how those show up again and again. They're cooking in the background and they're trying to sneak in and take more space. And that might show up in a small argument, maybe a bigger argument, a bigger fight. No matter what disconnection me and my partner have, it's usually always tracked back to one of our shadows. And this becomes an opportunity for healing, or an opportunity for growth. I like to think about it more in the terms of that we don't really have anything to heal. It's more about remembering who we truly are. Because deep underneath, we are all love. And it just happens that we've been brought to this 3D reality, this lifetime here on Earth, and we have forgotten. And what has been coming in the way is a lot of fear. Fear that can show up in the terms of a shadow such as doubt, reaction, superficiality, inadequacy, not feeling you're good enough. It can come up as jealousy and a number of other shadows such as stress or force, to think of a few more. Looking at your Venus sequence with gene keys related to your love and relationships as well as emotional healing patterns, that can tell you a lot on how you can improve your relationship with your partner, as well as relationships with friends, including yourself, also the relationship to self, how you give yourself more self-love and the way you're speaking to yourself, and just understanding how you can, once again, transcend these shadows from a lower frequency of related to fear into a higher frequency of your gift, being more in love, love frequency, authenticity, and those kind of things. So taking a look here at the Venus sequence and one of my gene keys being the EQ sphere, emotional quotient, kind of like emotional intelligence. I have gene key 7.2, which is about emotional leadership through authentic guidance. And the core theme is leading from the heart with clarity and courage. So this showed up for me in my relationship in the way of like, sometimes I'm either trying to suppress my own emotions and avoid, or I'm trying to control and kind of fix the situation in order to feel safe. But that's ultimately obviously coming from that I have fear. I want to feel safe, but if I'm not safe already, then I'm fearful and I'm feeling unsafe. So what does this mean here? It means on a high level meaning that I had certain wounds that was taking place between ages 7 to 14. That's for all of us in the EQ sphere. This shows me how I tend to respond emotionally, especially in moments of conflict or vulnerability. This gene key is about me learning how to guide from my heart, not from control or fear. Don't need to control or fix others to feel safe. My natural gift going out of the shadow of division. I'm divided, disconnected with my partner, to gift of guidance, offering clear emotional guidance through my own vulnerability, leading by example rather than by force. So, as many times we will hear that, hey, lead from vulnerability. Be vulnerable about your feelings. Start by communicating how you feel unsafe and how you feel hurt, misunderstood, not seen, and not heard, and how you could better be safe going forward by a change in behavior and requesting that in a kind way, right? So this is just another way of going through your gene keys in your Venus sequence in order to heal emotional patterns, and instead of sabotaging your relationship, you can actually make it a better one and you can grow together. Way number 3, it aligns your gifts with prosperity, and it can reveal how money flows to you better when you're in integrity. And this is where the Pearl sequence can come into place and be very useful, because it will show you how you can get into more integrity by going from your shadows there into your gifts. And before understanding my Pearl gene key 18, I had this pattern of being quite critical, maybe in some moments even hypercritical towards myself, because anytime I was working on some kind of project that I felt like this can be done a lot better and it's not perfect, I would keep on putting force to it and overthink and strive for perfection, and I would judge myself. And maybe the worst part would also be that sometimes I'm not just judging myself, but I'm even judging others. And that shadow of judgment sneaks into how I view others too. So when I decoded my Pearl sphere and realized that my shadow is judgment, a lot of realizations came on how I'm kind of blocking myself from manifesting more prosperity. So taking a look at my Pearl sphere, it says it's about flourishing through joyful correction. And the core theme is prosperity through continuous refinement and joyful discernment. Big underscore on joyful discernment. Changing things from a more joyful and exciting place rather than from a place of force, stress, judgment. Big difference, right? Core key, unlocking prosperity when you're living in alignment with your essence. The gift is about refining system structures, constantly improving and tweaking, nothing wrong with that. But, like we said here, correcting with joy rather than self-criticism. Looking at the shadow, I can be aware of that when the shadow creeps in. I can become hypercritical of myself, my work, or other people, seeing only what's wrong and missing the beauty of what's already good. Tension blocks flow, and I may come across as overly harsh without meaning to, without intending to. And instead, the integrity is about trusting my natural talent for refinement and strategy, while also embracing the imperfections of life. No longer see problems to fix, but opportunities to evolve, bringing a joyful curiosity to the process of continuous improvement. And there's ways for me to activate my gift and so forth. But overall, super useful to get aware on my unique blueprint for how I prosper in life, how I can attract wealth, abundance, and money, but also other prosperity that makes me internally feel very good. These good, positive emotions of internal freedom, internal excitement, joy, creativity. So I urge you, take a look at your Pearl sequence on your different gene keys in there, to understand how you uniquely work in the way of manifesting more prosperity, wealth, and abundance. Now, in closing, those are just 3 ways, right? 3 gene keys that has changed how I show up in my life. Once you get to know and understand your own gene keys, you realize it's literally like being handed a map to your life. And once again, not just to who you are, but how you can evolve further and transform into the highest version of yourself, like who you really are. And it can change your life in more ways than you can imagine. So hopefully you found some value in this video. If so, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't already, I urge you to go to the genekeys.com website. generate your own free gene key profile for yourself. Take a look at that, it will be very insightful. If you feel like you need any guidance or extra support, you can also reach out to me on Instagram, ask some questions or ask for some guidance. Maybe book a reading if you want that. Until next time, my friends, have a good one, and I'll see you soon.